being impeccable with your word. To me, that means not betraying yourself. It means betraying yourself less. Being impeccable with your word is one of the four agreements from Don Miguel Ruiz's famous book, The Four Agreements. To me, being impeccable with my word, it's been a very simple, a very subtle, yet very powerful practice. Just infused into my life that I've kind of revisited as I've gotten of holding myself more accountable in a loving way, but nonetheless holding myself more accountable with my actions, with my habits, with just my disciplinary, the actions that I have to take in my life in order to get to the goals that I want to realize and manifest. But yeah, when I say betraying yourself less, okay, every time you let that thing slip, right, where you make a decision about something, you say that you're going to do something, or that you're going to act a certain way, or you're going to, you're going to judge people less, you're going to complain less, you're going to get up earlier, you're going to eat healthier, you're going to work out, all those things that we know are good for us, right? And when we make that decision, that conscious decision to go against, or at times perhaps unconscious decision, but nonetheless, we make the decision to go against that word that we've made. We broke that promise to ourselves. We in turn trust ourselves less. We trust ourselves less. We believe in ourselves less. We have less self-respect, right? Term less self-love. And of course, ultimately, we should be able to forgive ourselves for it. That's the path. I mean, that's really, in a lot of spiritual teachings, at least in what I believe, self-forgiveness is kind of the top thing that it all comes down to. So I'm not saying that we're right in feeling that way, or that. I'm just saying that it is a byproduct of going against, right? It's a fragmentation of the psyche. And it comes from these subconscious programs, right? These things that we've ingrained from the past, whether it's from our trauma or from even just, making unconscious decisions. It doesn't even really matter why. I think that's important. I believe that a lot of times it doesn't really matter why, but we have these things ingrained. We're in this pattern, we're in this rut, we're in this routine that's so familiar. It's so comfortable, it's so known. And a lot of times the body we'd rather stay in suffering than take a chance in the unknown. Right? Because at least we can predict what's going to happen in the known. Unfortunately, no, not unfortunately, but unfortunately for the person that doesn't want to change, that doesn't want to feel uncomfortable, that wants to be where they're at, it's unfortunate for them in that state, which I've been there. I'm not judging. I'm a little baby a lot of times when it comes to making changes, but what I'm trying to say is that is the necessary thing that we all need to evolve, is to constantly we get, even if we're in a good place, even if we're in a good place, but if you want to hit that next level, you've got to evolve, you've got to glean wisdom, you've got to rethink some things, because nothing stays the same, and you shouldn't either, right? Your best self, your best life it's going to look different in 5 years than it looks now. So being impeccable with your word is not about like never changing your mind. That's not the point. Like, obviously we have new ideas, new passions, new inspirations, new wisdom, right, to make different choices, right, where I've said things in the past that I've changed my opinions about over, just my intuition and research and just life experimentation. That's natural, that's normal. But when it's something that we know, a lot of times, believe me, I know that this thing is good for me, that this is going to help me, right, that I can get up earlier, that I can do these things, that I can, study more, or do, go deeper in my meditation practice or my breath work, whatever it is. But if I make that commitment, I do my damnedest nowadays to stick with it and to honor myself. In a way, it's a self-love practice, right? To love myself enough to do this, to love myself enough. We love ourselves enough, hopefully, right, most of us, but we love ourselves enough to brush our teeth and do our laundry and vacuum and all these things that we need to do to keep, right, we wash our body, like we eat food, we drink water, there's things that we have to do to maintain ourselves. So love is not always just like gooey, and love is sometimes a friend that's sick and spending the day with them, and it's not really fun, but like you're making them soup, you're giving them attention and care and respect, and being there for them, right? So sometimes you have to do that for yourself. So being impeccable with your word. It's about honoring yourself, not betraying yourself any longer, and just be honest with yourself, be vulnerable with yourself to ask where you've betrayed yourself, and learn to forgive, one, and then two, make a different choice. That's all you can do. So I believe in you. I'm proud of you, and let's do this. Peace.